It tastes like Big Mac.
Hello and welcome to today's video. Behind me here you can see one of the projects for today. I am trying out a spaghetti squash Big Mac recipe. It's been viral a little bit on Instagram I've seen, but it's quite a while ago. But I'm gonna try it with my own spaghetti squash from this summer. And it's time to get rid of fall and bring in the festive Christmas vibe and decorate. I want to utilize my decorative pumpkins that I grew. I'm making 3 delicious recipes, so stay tuned. Okay, I just wanted to show you what we're working with. So I have these baby boo pumpkins, Turk's turban pumpkins. I have this huge one right here, look at that. I'm excited to cook with this one, and it's kind of soft. The shell is kind of soft, but the baby boo pumpkins are a little bit hard. Maybe you can see that. So I just have to see what they look like on the inside, if I can even cut into it. And then here I got the crown of thorns, I think they're called, but they are even harder on the surface, like wood almost. I can't really use them. I have Googled and it said it can be really hard and fibrous. So, but the Turk's turban I know for sure I'm gonna cook with, so I'm gonna start with those. They don't look so good, so I'm not gonna use them. Alright, so I feel like a true chef standing here with 3 skillets at the same time, but I have some yellow onions in the 2 silver pots. They are both for lasagna, but the small one is for my son, so I use a little less of things like salt and spices and such. And in the cast iron pot here to the right, I am making my Indian/Asian inspired stew, where I have red onion, garlic, I forgot to mention I have in all of these. I have some spices like paprika, turmeric, cumin, cinnamon, coriander. I've added crushed tomatoes. Now I'm adding a bouillon cube to the lasagna tomato sauce. I have tomato paste in all of the pots. And now I am adding bell peppers and tomatoes from the freezer that I've kept from the garden this year. And just a little bit of water to cook it down. And I did add my homegrown and homemade crushed tomatoes or marinara sauce into the big pot. But since it's homemade, I just can't take the potential risk of botulism in my son's meal. I mean, it's bad enough as it is, even though I've made a safe canned product, but they are extra receptive to botulism. So now I have added Worcestershire sauce and balsamic vinegar, cream, and spinach to the big pot, and to the small pot I added just some cream/heavy milk. I think the pumpkin turned a little bit too soft. It was almost like a puree, and I wish I pulled it out sooner, but oh well. I'm adding red lentils, coconut milk to the stew, and just some sour cream in the small pot. And now I'm adding the pumpkin, which, by the way, was so good, kind of like a butternut squash, I would say. So if you're growing Turk's turban as decorative pumpkins, definitely use them for cooking. I'm layering the lasagna as you normally would, except for the bechamel sauce, because I've already got the cream and the milk in the sauce. So instead I'm just spreading some aged cheese in the middle, and that actually turned out really deep and creamy without the bechamel sauce. I'm topping the big lasagna with halloumi cheese. I had it in the fridge and I just thought, why not use it up? In the oven it goes for about 20 to 25, 30 minutes, depends on your oven, on 225 degrees Celsius. I'm really pleased with how they turn out. The recipes were completely made up and I served it with some roasted pumpkin seeds and a salad. The stew was also really yummy, flavorful but fresh. Served it with homemade pickled onions, sour cream and fresh cilantro. It was so much fun to finally utilize my decorative pumpkins. I actually never thought to do that before. I guess I kind of didn't think to eat them, just decorate. And I usually do some seed saving or compost them, you know, but this time I actually got to enjoy them in some delicious meals for the whole family. So now I'm gonna utilize my spaghetti squash. And I grew these from a seed that I got from the store, like 2 years ago or something. And I got 3 really nice ones. I have one more, but these were kind of the same size. And I'm gonna make that viral Big Mac spaghetti squash. Super exciting. I've been craving like burgers and like Big Macs, and I'm kind of, you know, trying to be healthy right now. So I'm gonna start by cutting off the tips or the bases of the spaghetti squash. I'm gonna cut it in half. You can do it like lengthwise or vertically, you know, whatever you want, but I find it being a little bit more satisfying to have it kind of like a round bowl when you eat from it. So I'm gonna cut it, this is horizontal I guess, and this is vertically, so I'm gonna cut it vertically. I'm just gonna give them a little rinse too. So get your sharpest knife. This is really hard. So if they're super hard like this, you know, they've been inside hardening for a few months, you can actually put it in the microwave for about 3 minutes. So I'm gonna try it out. I microwaved it for 3 minutes and I think that was enough. So at least to cut the tips off. But maybe not. Wow, so hard. Let's do another one. Okay. So now we're carefully going to scoop out the seeds. Place them upside down on a baking sheet and bake them for 30 to 40 minutes on 200 degrees Celsius and 400 degrees Fahrenheit. In a pan, I've added 1 diced yellow onion and just let that soften a little bit. Then I'll add ground beef and salt, black pepper, garlic powder, and paprika powder. So now I'm going to dice some pickles, and these are going both into the Big Mac sauce and on top. So I'm gonna use quite a lot because I absolutely love pickles. That's kind of the thing I love about Big Mac. And then here I got just a mix between diced tomatoes and fresh red onions. You could use a relish too, that's already kind of diced, but I really don't think it tastes the same. So I'm just gonna do like a rough chop of it and then just go through it like this until it's fine. It does go quite quickly. And I've got the ground beef already done. I have about 5 minutes left of the squash in the oven, and then I'm gonna fill it, put some cheese, and then into the oven until the cheese melts. Then we're gonna dig in. I'm so excited. I'm really hungry. I've been standing here all morning baking a saffron braid or star for a YouTube short and for Instagram. So make sure to follow me on Instagram. It's emilias.happyplace. So see, that was really quick and you got this beautiful reddish. I don't use cup metrics, so I'm basically just gonna add kind of what I think is right. So I'm using sour cream, and I'm gonna add about that much, or actually a little bit more, I think, like that. And then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of mayo, and I think that's about 2 teaspoons. I'm doing a little bit more because I really want to drown these in this sauce. And then 2 tablespoons of ketchup. This is unsweetened. 1 tablespoon of yellow mustard. 2 tablespoons of the pickle relish. I'm gonna add a little bit more because I love it. Like that. Half a teaspoon of white vinegar. 1 teaspoon of paprika. 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Again, I don't have that, so I'm using garlic powder. And salt. Let's mix that together. And I'm gonna taste it and see if it needs anything more. All right, so let's have a little taste. It's so tangy and so good. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt. So good. I really recommend this recipe. I found it on Instagram, but I can link the Instagram profile I found it on. And I think you have to comment on her post in order to receive the recipe. I don't want to be spreading the recipe without her consent. But I recommend you trying this out if you have spaghetti squash, such a healthy form of a Big Mac. It tastes like Big Mac. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you gained some inspiration. If you have some pumpkins you need to get rid of, or if you grew spaghetti squash, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you on board this channel. Take care. Bye bye.